Well, there's an awesome app I want to talk to you guys about today. It's called Webtoons. It's a comic publisher and platform where they host a bunch of awesome Korean-based comics and some American contributors as well. So Webtoons is really cool. They're free comic books online. The Webtoons business model is very interesting. So the way that it works is they rely on a small percentage of their users to buy fast passes and membership, while letting the majority of their users read comic books for free. So only less than 10%, I think, of users actually pay for their comic books. But the way that they get you is like this. The stories end on such amazing cliffhangers. Every chapter you're like, man, I really want to know what happens next. And if you don't want to wait a full week, then you can buy a fast pass, which will generally give you access to the next 3 chapters. But I would tell you that most likely that 3rd chapter that you read, it's going to also be a cliffhanger, and you'll still have to wait. But I mean, you're supporting comic book creators, so it's not that bad of a fee. One thing that's really interesting about these comics too, American comics, you read left to right. Japanese comics, you can read right to left. But this is a different format for the computer and your phone. So the comic books are made from top down. So there is no left to right. You just scroll on your phone or scroll on your computer. It's really interesting because it gives a different type of pacing for the comic books. The distance between the panels communicates suspense in a way that you wouldn't have in ordinary comics. It's really cool and interesting to see. Webtoons has all kinds of webcomics. They have comics that update for each day of the week. They have all kinds of genres: drama, fantasy, comedy, action. There's slice of life, romance, superhero, historical, thriller, sports, heartwarming, sci-fi, horror. Pretty much every genre you can think of. Webtoon is also really helpful for new creators. They put a spotlight on new comic books. They also offer a lot of resources on how to get started developing your own comic book, how to upload, how to develop in the Webtoon format, how to do character design, all kinds of things. And they also pay the creators, and it is ad revenue generated, so it's based around ads shown at the end of the webcomics. So the ad revenue sharing program, creators can earn 50% from ads displayed on their series, and you have to sign up as a creator in the ad revenue sharing program, hit 1,000 subscribers and 40,000 US monthly page views, and then you apply for a review. So it's still a process, but I mean, make money off of comic books. One thing that they've also integrated into some of the comic books, which I find awesome and fascinating, is when you scroll to a certain panel, sometimes they'll have music or other audio recordings, noises that interact. They also have certain panels which are animated, which will just shock and surprise you. So there's really cool stuff that you can see. It brings a new dimension to comic book storytelling by having that audio with it. One thing I will say about Webtoons is, this was a couple of years ago, but I used to read comic books on the computer and then read them on the app, and I noticed that the 2 platforms weren't synced. So I would read a couple of chapters on the computer and those wouldn't be synced to my phone, and it just kind of messed me up. And I ended up just reading only on the app to keep track of things. The other gripe I have with Webtoons is that I won a competition. You had to share on social media something for Webtoons. I was picked as one of the 100 winners, but they didn't give me anything. And I actually emailed them and I was like, hey, I've never won anything in my life, please give me something. But they had nothing to give. Still though, I love Webtoons. Webtoons is great. I've read some of the most interesting comics through this app. So I would definitely recommend it, and some of the series are completely finished. You don't have to wait for new chapters to come out. So in future episodes, I'll be highlighting some of my favorite series from Webtoons. But thank you for watching, and please comment below with your favorite comic book from Webtoons.